Hello, everyone. So today's session is about achieving financial freedom. So the first question arises is, what do you mean by financial freedom and why anyone wants to achieve that, right? Why do you want to achieve financial freedom? So let's see. First, we'll start with the definition of financial freedom. What exactly does it mean? So firstly, you have to remove a misconception about rich and wealthy person or financial freedom. You can be very rich in life. There are a lot of people who are very rich. They earn a lot of money. But then you see in the news headlines that they have suddenly become bankrupt. Okay, they go bankrupt. So just by earning more money, you can become rich. But will it lead to financial freedom? You cannot be certain about it. So financial freedom is not about becoming rich or wealthy. Okay. It is a means, money will be a means to achieve financial freedom, but earning money by itself does not mean that you will be financially free. Okay. So it is not about earning a lot of money, but it is about getting control over that money. Financial freedom starts with having control over your finances, control over. So in finance, there are two sides, the income, the revenues, and the expenditure. So when you have control over both the sides, and then the control over your investments and your debts, then only you can say that you are financially free. So it is more about control. Okay. And it is to have enough residual income. What is residual income? Income that will come on its own without you putting any efforts into it. Okay. So the residual income allows you to live the life you want. Yes, Zubair? Live the life you want without any worries about how you will pay your bills or manage a sudden expense. So that is freedom. Financial means money aspect. Freedom means the control over your finances in such a way that you don't have to worry about where the money is going to come from. Okay. So that is financial freedom. And that's what we are going to achieve. And it is much more than passive income. So we'll see that. And we'll see how you will achieve that state of financial freedom. Okay. So that is basically the concept of financially free. Means you don't have to worry about where the money is going to come from. You will have your lifestyle, which you will define. It is not lavish lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that you will decide according to your sources of finance, whatever you can afford to have. And then without worries, you will have enough money saved with you, which will generate income in order to spend on your lifestyle. Okay. So let's see how to achieve that. So there are 8 stages, you can say, or 8 different levels of financial freedom. Starting with the first one, not living paycheck to paycheck. So there are people who will live from paycheck to paycheck, or even there are people who will live in such a way that their spending is much more than their current income. So they live on debts. Okay. They continuously spend money on credit cards and they are continuously on debt, and the debt keeps rising, and those people ultimately go bankrupt. Okay. So we are not amongst those people, certainly not. Okay. So that's the negative one. Then there is a zero. Zero means where your income is equal to your expenses. So whatever you earn, you spend it out. So you don't save anything. That's the zero level. And then starts one step after the other to achieve financial freedom. So the step one is not living paycheck to paycheck, means you are saving at least something. You're saving at least something. Say, for example, you are earning a lakh rupees a month and you are saving, say, 5,000 to 10,000 rupees. So that's good enough. That's the first stage. Second is enough money to quit your job. Enough money to quit your job. So can that happen today? Say, for example, your livelihood, the current status that you are having requires an spending of, say, 80,000 a month, for example. So are you having enough money with you, saved with you, which will, you know, which will finance your spending of 80,000 a month? If yes, then you are in the step 2. But for how much time? So say, for example, you have a saving of, say, 4 lakh rupees. Means you can use that 4 lakh rupees to finance your livelihood, but not for long. It will run good for, say, 2, 3, 4 months, but not beyond that. So this is the second level. And we kind of, use this level as well to switch jobs. Like you are resigning from one job and you'll take another, say, 1 or 2 months to find another job. So for that 2 months or 3 months period in between, you need the finance. So your savings will help you do that. So you are at the second level. The third level is financially happy and still saving. You are still saving money and you are happy as well. So you are spending enough money on your good lifestyle, you are saving good money, and you have enough, repository, enough deposits, which can sustain you for 10, 12 months. So you are at the third level. Fourth is freedom of time. This is another level, you can say. So you have now enough money saved with you where you can decide even to switch jobs, even to reduce your working hours. Maybe you will now work only on consultancy basis. You will quit your 9 to 5 job and provide only consultancy. So you will have enough time with you, to spend on other things, as well as you can earn money good enough to sustain your livelihood, current livelihood. So that is freedom of time. You are at number 4. Number 5 is enough for basic retirement. Then now you can think of retiring altogether, but basic. Okay, means you have enough savings to sustain your current lifestyle, but not beyond that. Then enough to actually retire well. Retiring well means you have enough money, so you don't have to focus on earning anymore, and it will sustain you for a longer period of time. And enough for dream retirement. Step 7 is where you can have a dream retirement, means you can afford a luxurious lifestyle even after retiring and without having to think about anymore. Like the income that is generated from your savings, say you have accumulated $20 million, and that $20 million you will invest somewhere. And the income that you will earn on that $20 million per month will be more than your spending per month. So you're still saving. So even though you are not earning anything, your passive income itself is not just financing your expenses, but also resulting in more savings. So that is step number 7. So you are almost free. And the last step is more money than you could ever spend. So you have become Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates. Okay. So that's the ultimate level of financial freedom. So we have to start with one and slowly move a step at a time. And our ultimate aim is to reach at the 8th position within a given time. So that time frame you will decide right now today. Okay, that's good. So how do we move ahead? So there are certain steps that you have to follow to achieve that level of financial freedom. Okay. So step 1 is taking stock. So when you start something, you have to start with taking a stock. Okay. So what do you do today? The first thing you'll do is to take stock of 4 things: your debts, your assets, your incomes, and your expenses. Okay, you'll take stock of all these 4 things. So debts can mean, it can be anything from mortgages to student loan. Mortgages can include your housing loan. So take a stock of all your debts today. Okay, if you have pencil and paper with you, start taking the note. So I'll give you 2 minutes. Write down all your debts which you have today. So it can be your housing loan, it can be a car loan, okay, it can be personal loans, student loans, if you're a student and you have taken student loan for your education purpose, credit card outstanding bills, Loan from family and friends, don't forget them. If you have any personal loans, write them down. So I'll give you 2 minutes. Come on, start now. Write down all your loans and liabilities that you are having today. And write down the amounts as well. And then take a total of those amounts. Great. Once you've got the total of all your debts ready, then go on to the next step and write down all your savings which you have today. And if you know the amounts right now, well and good, you can write down. If you don't know, then go back after this session, do your homework, go to your mutual funds, go to your stocks and see what is the value today. Okay. So your savings can include your real estate. If you own any property, note down which properties you own today and what is the probable value of those properties. Okay. Then stocks, which includes your shares, debentures, mutual funds, fixed deposits. Okay. Uh, any other investment that you have in different modes. There are different modes of investments, and you might be having money lying here or there. So you note down every single investment that you have made and take the amounts, value those investments. Then also take into account the saving bank account, whatever money is lying there in one or two or more saving bank accounts. Then also look at the ESOPs which the company has given you and what is the value of those ESOPs, employee stock options. Then amount that you have saved in your retirement plans, your gratuity, your other retirement benefits. What is the value of those investments? Okay. So once you have done these two, then you go on to the next one, and that is expenses and revenues. And what we're going to do now is I'll share an Excel sheet with you after this session, and you'll download that Excel sheet and do this exercise. So it is basically a monthly budget that we are seeing, but you do it on a regular basis every month and you make it into an annual budget as well. Okay. So here I'll show you the image of it. Okay. And then later on, you will do it at home. So this is a homework for you. And as you can see the sheet right here. So on the left hand side, there will be income. So whatever incomes you are earning today. So it can be your rent, your salary, your dividends, your returns on your investments, okay, interest that you might be earning, etc., etc. So all the incomes will come on the left hand side. On the right hand side are the various heads of expenses. So we incur a lot of expenses. So you note down all these expenses in detail, whatever expense you normally incur on a month-to-month basis, which includes your food bills, your restaurant bills, everything. And what you do is first you will record this in the initial stage, and later on you do it on actual basis. So after the month end, you record the actual expenses that you have incurred during the month, and then reconcile what was your budget and what is the actual that you have incurred. Is there any diversion? Have you saved some expenses or you have over expended on some accounts? Do that exercise on every month basis. Okay. So you'll just copy this sheet, open several sheets, copy it every month. So make it for January, then February, then March, April, May, June, and so on and so forth. Okay. And every month do the reconciliation. First make the budget, and in the next column write the actual expenses, and then see the variation. How much the actual and the budgeted varies. Is it over expenditure or less expenditure? Now that will teach you financial discipline. This exercise is very important to get financial discipline. Okay, and that is the first, actually the first step of achieving financial freedom. You have to get disciplined in order to become financially free one day. Okay, so and you just have to put in the figures and the other details will come automatically. So the formulas are set there. Okay, so this is also called as a personal budgeting for every month, but you can use this not only for budgeting but also for variance calculations. Okay, so you write the budgeted figure, and then at the end of the month you write the actual figures and you see the differences. Great, because this will help in our step 4 and 5. So this is the first step that you start with. You find out whatever are your expenses, what are your sources of income, and what are your assets and your current liabilities. Great. Now let's go on to the second step. So once we have taken this stock of the current situation, this step 2 is write down your financial goals. And we have discussed in the earlier sessions how to write your goals. The goals have to be SMART, right? Specific, measurable. Okay, so follow those steps and write your SMART goals and timely. So here we are going to write our financial goals. So what is our financial goal? Basically, we want money. So question is, why do we need money? I've seen a lot of people, they spend day and night working, including my dearest wife. She spends the whole day working and she works very hard, much harder than me. But then when I ask her, why are you working so hard? What are you going to do with the money? And she says that I don't have any idea. So a lot of people today don't have an idea as to why they are earning so much or less or whatever. They are earning money, but they don't even know whether the money they are earning is enough or not, whether it is sufficient or not. So you will never know unless you first write down your goals. So therefore, goal setting is very important. So goals can be many, like a few example I'll give, that I want to buy a house which is worth 5 crores. So that is one goal. You write down buying a house worth 5 crores. And then also write the time. When do you want to buy? In next 3 years, in next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, when? So timing is very important. We need to write SMART goals. Okay, they should be specific, they should be measurable, they should be timely, and they should be achievable. So write down the goals, give the time, when do you want to achieve it. Okay, so the basic purpose of writing down the goals is that until you write the goals, your money will be without a purpose and you will not know how to make the best use of it. So what happens if you don't write the goals? We spend that money on unnecessary things. When I see that I have money, I may, splurge money on things that I don't want. And then I will not have enough money for the things that I really need. So therefore, writing goals is very important. They can be your education goals, that I want to pursue education, higher education in US, and I need to spend this much money there. I need money for, marriages and all. I need money for buying a car. I need money for buying a house. I need money. And write down every possible goal that you have in your mind. Then relook at those goals and define the priority. Define the priority, that these are the goals which are very important to me. These are the goals which, okay, if I have enough money, I'll do it. And these are the goals which I can, cut off from my list. I don't want to spend money there. So write down every possible goal. You need to go on vacations, and spend a lot of money there. So what kind of money you are going to spend on vacations every year or maybe every 2 years. So write down these financial goals. They can be related to expenses. They can be related to incomes as well. Okay, write them down. And then, as I said, define these goals, define the amounts, probable amounts that you will allocate to these goals. Okay, and also write down the time as to whether you want to fulfill these goals within the first year itself, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Define the time. Okay, so that's step 2. Define your goals. Once you have the goals in place and the amount that you are going to spend or you are going to allocate towards your goals, you will have the total amount that you need. Okay, very good. Then going on to step 3, track your spending. So this I told you. So when we are going to make that Excel sheet, in the Excel sheet, not only are we going to write the budgeted figures, but also the actual figures. So say my budget for movie every month is say 2000 rupees. But this month I spent 6000. So that's bad. You are spending 4000 more on watching movies. What is the priority of watching movie in your complete list? Is it hot priority, means I have to spend? Is it medium priority or is it low priority? So prioritize your expense as well. Give that color to the expenditure. Red means hot priority, I have to spend, like food, I cannot compromise on that. Then there will be some okay mid-level priority, mark them as blue, and low priority, mark them as yellow. Okay, so do color coding as well. And write the budgeted expense and the real expense and compare. So for the last 3 months, I did not go to watch a movie. So I saved my 2000, 2000, 2000. So I've already saved 6000 on my movie budget. So next month, if I spend say 3000, that's fine. Overall, I'm still at positive level. I have saved more than what I'm spending. So that's good. So do this exercise. So that will give you a lot of financial discipline. You will learn how to control your expenses, how to control your urges to make more expenses. Okay. And so what it does is track your spending. It reveals many needless expenditure. So when you track your expenses, your budget and real, it will help you, identify the needless expenses which you are making every month possibly. So then you know that I have to control these kinds of expenses, and then you will do it. Okay. And it helps you avoid obstacles in the path of financial freedom. Great. So that is step 3. Track your spending. And it makes you accountable as well. Then coming to step 4, pay yourself first. Now, this is a unique thing. You might not have heard about it, but this is very, very crucial and important to achieve financial freedom. Pay yourself first. Yourself means me. So whatever money I have earned this month, say I have earned 2 lakh rupees this month as salary, what I'll do is first I will allocate the portion towards myself. Myself means my future, means my savings. So if I'm saving my money in different modes of investment, I do investment in stock, I do investment in mutual funds and this and that. And normally these days we take SIPs, monthly investment amounts. So define your SIPs, define the amount that you want to save, and put your money first in those savings. So out of the total money that I've earned, when I receive the paycheck at the end of the month, the first thing I'll do is to pay myself, means put the money into all the savings that I have budgeted for. Then out of the remaining amount, I will spend money, I'll pay off my debts, and whatever I have to do, I'll do. Okay, so first saving, then everything else. This is another financial discipline. Follow this discipline. Okay, so put a specific amount of money which you have decided into your savings. And this is also something that we need to decide. And this session is actually going to continue tomorrow, because it's not possible to finish in one session. It's quite a in-depth concept of financial planning. So in tomorrow's session, we are going to discuss this further using various financial formulas. Okay, compounding, NPV, IRR, and we'll use a lot of formulas to map our finances. Whatever we are earning today, how much will go into investment, how much you should invest in order to create a fund at the time when you want to retire, and then what to do after that, how to invest that money, how to generate income on that, so that the income that you're earning sustains you for the rest of your life. So we'll use a lot of formulas to understand that concept. Okay, so that we'll do in tomorrow's session. It will be another very interesting session. So you understood the point. Pay yourself first means put the money first into your saving, and then the balance amount you will use for your expenses. So this will help you also curtail your expenses, because I don't have money to spend. So I'll spend less automatically. Otherwise, what happens when we do the reverse thing, we spend out the money first, and then whatever is left goes into saving. Then what happens is that we don't have enough money to save, and that is very bad. That will never make you financially free. It also helps us explore alternatives to limit your expenses. Now, this is a very interesting concept. Explore alternatives to limit your expenses. This is a very deep concept. Now, I'll tell you a lot of I can give you thousands of examples, but I'll give you one or two. For example, you want to watch a movie. Okay. There are two options. There are always many options for all our expenses. First option is to go to a movie theater. Now, even if I decide to go to a movie theater, there are a lot of seats available. There's gold, there's platinum, there is the lounge seats. Why should you spend more? The objective is to watch the movie. And even if you decide to go to a movie theater, you can spend less. You can buy a gold seat of $200 rather than going for platinum of 400 or $500. So this is financial discipline. You have to be very frugal without compromising on the end product. So end product is the same, whether you watch from the front 10 seats or you watch from the back end sitting in the lounge chair, you are still watching the movie. Okay, so why to spend more? You go to on vacations. So when you go out on vacations, why to book a room which you are just going to spend the night? So if I'm just spending a night at a particular location, I'll find a good hotel with a comfortable bed. Why to stay in a 5-star hotel when you're not going to stay the whole day? So you're actually wasting time just for that one night's sleep. Yeah. So think about it. Think about the end result. You will achieve the same end result by spending much lesser if you compare the alternatives. So this is very important. I can give thousands of examples, so we can continue this lecture for hours and hours and hours. Okay, but you are getting my point. Good, very good. Then reduce your current expenses by making small tweaks in your lifestyle. You can do that as well. If you're spending too much, you try to curtail. You are spending too much on your hotels or your restaurants every month. Try to curtail. Learn cooking. So it will give you a good experience as well and good food. Or pick up a side hustle. Start earning something more. Okay, start a side hustle to supplement your current income. So even though you are working full time with a company, in the evenings you have enough time. So use that time to earn more. Do something else. Then spend less and save more, obviously. Because if you save 1 rupee, it is not equal to 1 rupee earned. That's a great thing you have to understand. If I save 1 rupee today, it is not like 1 rupee earned. The common terminology is that every rupee you save, every rupee you earn. But that's not correct. If I save 1 rupee today and I invest it, what happens is it gets compounded. And as it is getting compounded, it will be much more than 1 rupee 5 years, 10 years from now. Secondly, be money smart. So these are all the examples which I wanted to give you. Learn to cook delicious food rather than spending in a restaurant or calling food on Zomato and Swiggy. Rent a car instead of buying an SUV. And I can prove all these points, do mathematical calculations and you'll understand the amount of money that you are going to save. Say, for example, you are going to buy an SUV for 50 lakhs today. SUV. You don't drive SUV in cities. And even if you drive, you actually feel it very hard to drive. Number one, because of traffic, parking problems, and there are so many other issues. So what you do is buy a small car of say 10 lakhs to drive in your city. That will be much better. You will find parking space and everything, and it will be much easier for you, to commute in heavy traffic. Number one. Number two, you save that 40 lakhs. Now you use that SUV for a few days in a year when you want to actually go out driving somewhere. Okay. How many days you want to go out? 4 days, 5 days, 10 days at the max? Just think about it. So for 10 days of off-road driving, you are buying an SUV of 50 lakhs. Now, when you buy an SUV of 50 lakh, what happens is not only you spend 50 lakhs, but most of the amount is taken on loan. So the interest burden starts rising. So at the end of it, say you have taken 40 lakh loan amount for a period of 10 years. After 10 years, if you see how much money you have actually paid for that one SUV, it will be like 80, 90 lakhs. Okay, not 50. So if you include the interest portion, it will be much higher. So you spend so much money for 10 days of luxury. Other time, the vehicle is just standing in your garage, or maybe you are driving in the city. So the alternative is you take a cab or you buy a small car for driving in the city. You save this much amount, 80 lakhs. And for those 10 days that you want to really go out and have a good drive, take a car on hire. You get SUVs on hire today. Okay, take it on hire, go out for 10 days. So at the most, you are going to pay what, 10,000 a day? So for 10 days, you are going to spend hardly 1 lakh. And if you take even 15 years time, you're going to pay 15 lakhs instead of 80 lakhs. Understood? So there are so many tweaks that you can make and save whole lot of money. Then about buying a house. If you're 4 people, buy a 2-bedroom flat or maybe 3-bedroom flat. Don't go for 5-bedroom flat. Even when you want to buy a 2-bedroom flat, see all the alternatives in the city. Which one is giving at the cheapest price at the best possible place? So you have alternatives. That's the crucial point. Evaluate all the alternatives before you commit an expense. So rent an apartment versus buying one. Do all the calculations. If I buy an apartment at an interest rate of say 9% or 10% per annum, what is the total amount that I'm going to pay over a period of say 15 years? And what is going to be the price of that flat after 15 years? Instead of that, if I just pay rent to stay in a similar kind of accommodation, what is the expense that I'm going to incur in 15 years? Then compare which is better and then choose one. Okay, so always do your financial calculations before you commit to make an expenditure. If you are into colleges, don't pay the fees, go for scholarships. Try getting scholarships, especially if you're going to a foreign country. Then step 6 is pay off your debts as soon as possible. This is very crucial. Pay off your debts as soon as possible. Because what debts do is they carry huge amount of interest burden. And what happens because of interest is that you don't pay the capital, but you pay capital plus interest, which is a huge amount. So if you have your debts today and you are paying a lot of money on interest, try to reduce that. Try to reduce your debts. So use your current incomes first to pay off your debts. 2 things happen. Your future cash flows will improve and your credit rating will also improve. And it will lift a massive burden off your shoulders. Yeah. And there are 2 ways of paying off debts. There are 2 strategies that you can play. Number 1 is called as the snowball method. In snowball method, what happens is that you pay the smallest debt first. So start paying off the smallest amount of debts. So you have got different loans starting from 1 lakh and going up to 50 lakhs. So you start paying off the smaller amounts so that the majority of the loans obviously will be of smaller amounts. At least they are, negated, they are gone. And then you move ahead. This is one way, but that is not a good way. The second method is the better method. That is called as the avalanche method. Now in avalanche approach, what you do is, this is more strategic. You pay off those debts first which carry a higher interest burden. Very crucial. Which carry a higher interest burden, because interest is the expense. So whichever loan is having the highest interest rate, you pay off those loans first and then move on towards the lower interest rates. Yeah. So this will reduce your outflow, cash outflow. So do that, pay off your debts. Step 6, keep your career moving forward, means have more sources of income, or the source that you have, keep improving that source. So if you are into an employment, try to get promotions, better performance. You perform your job better so that you get more promotions and more salary hikes. Okay. Learn new valuable skills which will get you more promotions, or in business, it will help you if you're into business. Make your growth strategies, and this whole career masterclass is about that. So we are learning so many strategies and so many mindset uh, that is all about this, to grow your career. And step number 8 is create additional sources of income. So apart from growing in your main source, you have to also create additional sources of income. So additional sources can be of two types, the active and the passive income. So as you were saying, Zubair, the active and passive. Active is where you have to, spend time to earn money. So it is earning by spending time. So I can do some additional business, I can do some additional work, side hustle is active income. I have to spend time and I'll get income. Consultancy, I'll spend time in giving consultancy, I'll earn money out of that. So that's active income. But the problem is that you need to have time. So if the time is a constraint, you cannot have more active incomes. Then you go for passive income. Now, passive income is very crucial. You have to understand what is passive income. Normally, when we talk about passive income, people understand it as investments. Okay, we invest the amount into stocks, and the stocks will give you returns. So it is not just about stock. Stock is one example of passive income, but there are other. If you are into, say, engineering field or development field, creative fields, go for patent registrations. That's a crucial point. That's a very interesting point, and a lot of people are doing it today. So do inventions. And when you do inventions, register them under the copyright and patent laws. Once you do that, now you let out your patents to companies. So your effort has gone once. Now you have created an asset out of it. So this is a very crucial point and a very important point. I employed it personally and I teach it to a lot of people. Like I was a teacher. So as a teacher, I had to give lectures. So it's okay that 500 people were sitting in my class at one point of time when I was teaching chartered accountancy students. That's good. But that batch used to run for 6 months. And once it's done, once I have spoken my words and people have listened to it and the batch ends, we are at zero. So then I have to launch another batch, spend another 300 hours or 500 hours into the next batch to earn the same amount of income. So what I did, I recorded my lectures and started pen drive classes. So when I record my lectures, I have to speak once for 500 hours. I put my 500 hours, I record the complete series of lectures. Once that's done, I can sell it to thousands and thousands of students, not just 500 students sitting in one batch. So what I did was I converted active into passive income. Once the lectures are recorded, like this masterclass is getting recorded right now, now I can use this masterclass to sell it to thousands of people and lakhs of people. As this gets famous over time, I'll sell it to lakhs of people, and earn money. So this is converting your active into passive income wherever it is possible. So in teaching, it's possible. You record your lectures. And this is possible in many other scenarios, many other kind of, income. So you do that. So use digital formats and convert your active into passive incomes so that there is scalability. So in passive incomes, one of the important factor is the scalability. You can increase your income without putting more time or more efforts into it. Okay. Then you can start a lot of businesses on internet today. A lot of businesses can be started. Amazon, you can take a registration on Amazon of selling, say, some kind of article which you don't produce, but you just become a seller. You place order with the manufacturer, okay, and link the two. So once somebody places an order with you on Amazon for a particular product, that directly goes to the manufacturer. Manufacturer dispatches the goods to the buyer, and you get the commission in between. So without doing anything, you just open your shop on Amazon and you start earning. You have to take some efforts in the initial stages, but once you become famous, once your brand becomes famous, then you start earning automatically without doing anything, without spending time. So there are many such sources which you can exploit. So think about the passive incomes. And the last step is to invest. So keep investing more and more. And when you invest, there are multiple sources of investments that you can use. One is the real estate, another is gold. Then you have products. So you have product markets today. Then you have stock markets. Then you have fixed deposits. You have post office deposits, and so many other modes of investments are there. Do your research. Do your research. And we'll talk about this in later sessions as well. But do your research in all these modes of investment. See which are the best modes of investment, which give the good returns and at a lesser risk. So there are two things which you have to see: the risk and the reward. Reward means the dividends or the returns, the appreciation that you get, and the risk is the risk of losing the capital itself. Okay, so think about it. Divide your portfolio. So we'll talk about this in a later session, the complete portfolio management, okay, in detail. But here I'll give you a thumb rule. The thumb rule is that around 60% of your total funds should go into equities. This is for the stock market portion, whatever money you are going to invest in the stocks. Around 60% should go for equities and for long term, 20 years time. And around 40% in the remaining assets. The debt portion, basically, your fixed deposits and all. So then there's one slide for you to look. This is for your self introspection. What is the difference between the financial freedom and debt ridden life? And what is the difference? So we can say, just a few examples I'll take here. Financial freedom is net worth driven. You focus on net worth, creating a net worth. But in debt life, you focus on just the income. You earn, you spend. You earn, you spend. So that's not good. You have to focus on building your net worth. Then only you can be financially free after some years. So this is for you. And another point, this is again your homework. Update your knowledge on retirement planning, equity markets, mutual funds, index funds, life insurance, and other sources of investment, even the real estate, I would say. So you have to update your knowledge. Even if you are not from a financial background, you are not a chartered accountant, you are not a BCom graduate, still, I would say do your research. There are online sites, and there are many sites like Economic Times is there. Read those newspapers, update yourself continuously on the investments. It is your financial health is as good as your physical health. So as you do research on your physical health and you want to keep yourself fit, the same thing goes with your financial health. Okay. So knowledge updation is a very crucial point. So that's it for today. And don't miss tomorrow's session as well, because tomorrow we are going to take, so this was more of the awareness part. Now tomorrow we'll go in detail into a few financial modeling. Okay, so we'll see what is compounding, what is the effect, how to invest, how much amount to invest, when to invest, and what type of assets to invest in. Okay, so see you tomorrow with the new session. Thanks.